Hi there, this is Pratyush from Proxlite, and in this video we are going to create a video editor using Python. Now this will be an open source editor. Now there are some certain features that we are including in this whole project. Basically they are mixing, mirroring and resizing, and there will be some effect like color correction and speed enhancement and much of them. So let's go and see what are the simple requirements. So there are the requirements. You need two dependencies here like the Moviepy and Tkinter, that is Tkinter even though. So you need to just type pip install Moviepy and pip install Tkinter on your cmd, that is command promote. After that been done, let's go and see what is the designing of this. So here is the basic design. It will constitute of around a height of 200 and a width of 750. Now there are only 7 buttons that are mixing, mirroring, resize, speed, color, trim and audio. This will be a basic editor. Now there will be no preview. First of all, it will basically take your video and then just convert it as you want. So this will be a basic editor and really cool editor. So this is the basic design. So with that being said, let's start coding. So here I am in my editor. This is the Visual Studio Code. So basically we need to first import both of the dependencies. So we need to import. Here are the import section. Basically this will include Tkinter and the PyMovie. So basically what I will do here is just write down a code here from Tkinter. Now in this code I am importing all the stuff from the Tkinter package itself. So now we need to just import the PyMovie module. To do this, just write from. Now in this line of code, make sure you just state this dot editor function here to import everything from it. Now we need to create some variables. We have certain video files that are clip 1, clip 2 and clip 3, and there are 3 mp4s even though, that is 1.mp4, 2.mp4 and 3.mp4. So let's write here variables. Basically I will comment it. Now we need to define some variables right down there. So basically we are defining clip 1. Clip 1 will consist of our first video. So write down a function here. Now name your video file here, that is 1.mp4. Now video clip, it is video file. So here you need to write that video file clip. Basically, now after that function be done, let's copy everything from here and then we will be pasting it again and again for around 3 times. Let's change the name here. Basically these are the file that I required. So there will be 3 clips at minimum, and you can add as many more clips you want. So first of all we need to create a screen here. So for that we need some functions. So basically you can define some functions after onwards. So here I am giving a space for functions. There will be functions. I'm skipping it for now. Now we are going to create our main screen. So this will be our main screen. Basically our main screen, we need to just define a variable, that is root equals to tk function. Add this function. After that your window is created. So what you do is root dot title. For giving a title here, for example our editor, so I will be giving a name here. Basically the name will be video editor. Now this will be a basic name. Now we need to set the geometry. As I have shown you in my design, I have set it a height of 200 and around a width of 750. Dot geometry. Now you need to define the stuff here, that how much size it should be. For mine it should be 750 x, make sure this is small x, and then 200. Now this will be creating a screen. Now we need to keep all of these things into a main loop. So make sure that everything you are creating should be inside a main loop. We will be creating it on later on. So make sure now we should have a min size and max size. Basically min size and max size should define the size of your screen. It should be minimized or how much it should be maximized. So basically I will write here root dot min and then type in size. Basically what it will do is it will define a minimum value for your window. For mine it should be 750 and 200 because I don't want to maximize or minimize my screen. So what you want to do is just write. So make sure that this should be 720 and 200 here. Now we should be giving a maximum size. So root dot max size. Basically this is the maximum size, and this should be also 750 for me and 200. Okay, looks really cool. Now we need to share the configuration of the background color. Now it's depend on you that what background color you are going to set for your editor. For me it should be a dark grayish color. So I have chosen a hex code here, root dot, make sure you just type in configure. So I'm just typing config here, and the BG color. Now BG stand for your background color. So you need to give a value. Here I can write something like white, but I don't want that. I need a hex value. To add an hex color value, you can just visit any website for that and take a referral, or you can Google it. So after that been done, let's type our hex value here, that is 2323 and 23. This will give me a really cool grade of the grayish color. Now this is our screen. What you want to do is now make sure that this should be under a loop. So root, make sure dot main loop. Okay, so this is our main loop basically. So this is our main loop, and we have imported everything right now. So we have created a screen. Make sure that your screen should be under this main loop, and it should contain a title, a geometry, a min size, max size, and you can change its background by using this config tool basically. So this is really cool. Now I will give here a space. Now make sure that everything you are writing, every code you are writing, make sure that should be under this main loop functions. So what I will do is give a space here, another space, and let's write down our buttons. So basically first buttons is mix for me. Now mixing means you are adding two videos simultaneously. So to add this two video, we are going to add these three clips on each other without any transition. So what you want to do is first create a button. Now there is a function called button to create a button here on Tkinter. So I will be using b equals, now make sure you use b as a referral. Now this is the function, that is button, and this should be under root. This is our root basically, and this should be under our main loop basically. So what I want to do is give here a text. You can give any text, it should be in small. Now we are giving it a text basically which should be written like mix. Mix means you are just mixing those video, and then add a relief here. Now relief means the styles of the button. Now there are several styles like groove or sunken, something like that. So you can just give it any kind of design you want. So I am just using groove. So I will be using relief function. You can just give it a rise function even though, to make it more better. So relief, and then relief equals groove. Make sure the groove should be in capital letter. Here is it is basically. So now we need to set its BG color. So background it means, and I have given a hex value first thing first. So there's the hex value 2 3. Now make sure there should be an hashtag here, has here basically 2 3 and 2 3. So this is the value of my hex code. Now we have given the background. Right now we need to assign it a foreground. To do this, just write foreground FG. Okay, this is the basic code, equals to, now I'm going to give white. Now my code looks pretty much better because we have created a button here known as root, under the root, and this name was mix basically, and its design was groove, and we have given the hex value of the background and the foreground. So basically it is white, so I'm not giving any kind of stuff here, hex value here. So now we need to add some command. This command will make sure that when the button is pressed or click, what should be happened. So I'm just writing here command. Now after writing command equals, now you need to define some functions here. This is the main part where you need to define some functions. I will be telling you later on, so just skip it for right now. We will be giving command later on this function here, right down there. So first of all we need to pack this. Okay, now packing is a concept, you can just refer it. So b dot pack. Now I need to pack it on the side. Which side you have to give? You just side equals to, now I will be making sure that this should be on the left side of my screen, and I will be giving some padding. Now padding means you can just give it a sidewise look. For example, you can just displace it. So this should be paid, sorry for that, x equals to, now you need to give some padding here, that is 20 for me. Now basically this will just make sure that your button should be displayed 20 units on the x-axis. Now this seems really cool. We have packed our function. Now we need to configure it. Make sure you just configure it. So b dot config, you make and use this config function here with, now it will set, we will just set it with to 8 unit, and the height should be around I think it should be 3 units. That is really cool. So 3 unit. So this is our defined parameters for the button we have created. So this is our first button that we have created with the mix function basically. Now we will just copy it again and again because I don't want to write a long code here. So just Control C, select all this and Control C and enter, give space here, and then paste it of how many function you have basically. So basically we have around 7 functions, I think so. Yes, 7 functions. So I will be giving 7 buttons. This is 1 2 3 4 5, and another one we will give here. Now there is a mistake that the main loop is here, so Control X to cut it. Now you can see we have different kind of buttons here. Let's name it, enter Control V. Now we will give the name of the buttons that we are creating basically. So this is mix. The second button is for crop. Now a video editor needs there to be a crop functions right down there. So I will be giving a crop function here, and resize, and then we have our speed. Now we need to set up a color. Now we need to have all these functions, by the way. So this looks cool. Now you need to give some functions here. Basically this is the color, and then you need to give it a trim. Now as you can see, we have mix, crop, resize, speed, color, trim, and now we need another function we should add. This is an optional function, you can just add it or not, it's your own choice. For me, I will be adding another function that should be audio. Now for all of these the codes are really same, so I'm copying and pasting it outright there. Now here I have some configuration basically of that width and height, PEDX. You can just save anything that you want. For me, I'm just writing this, giving this a ped of 20. Now what I want to do is just make sure you should change the text here. Now this is crop, this is resize, this is basically speed, and then we have our color, and we have our trim function here, audio. So basically this is it. These are the functions that you need to create. After that been done, this side should not be blanked, so we need to give it a command basically. So what I want to do is I should write some functions here. Now to define a function, you need to just write def. Basically I will be writing some code to define some function. For example, def means define space mix. Now you can just capitalize it simply, so mix, and this is my basic function. So what we need to do is concatenate all of these. Concatenate means joining all of this video in one file and then exporting it. To do this, we need to write a code here basically. Now basically in this line of code, I'm defining the function that is mix, and now there should be concatenating function here to concatenate all of these three clips, and we will be also writing this file as a final render.mp4. Make sure you can give any extension to it to just make sure that the output should look better than all. So now we have defined a function. Similarly, we have to define another function. For me, I have the mix function here, and we have the mirror function, resizing functions, and other functions also. So let me check that whether we have the crop function here or the mix or any other function. So basically you can do is change this to mirror. Now we will be adding a mirror function here that should do, basically can do mirror your video, which means invert your video. So I will be defining another function here. Now here I have defined a function known as mirror. So there is a syntax here basically. Now basically in this line of code we are assigning a function that is fx and then mirror along the x-axis. So basically it will just invert your video on the x-axis. Now it will write your video on the format that is final render.mp4 that we have done in the previous case. So I have just copied it and pasted it here. Now this is the basic function for the mirror. Now we need to just define a function for the resizing tool. So def define and then resize. This should be a functions for me. Now we should take some user input here. They have the need to just resize their video. So basically here I am giving a float value. So now this is not a function, this is variable that will take input, that is enter your size. Basically they will give their size, that how much they want to resize their video. So now we are going to give it a function. Now basically we are feeding the value of r here, that is the float that we are taking. So we are feeding this value from here. Now we need to similarly do is that write the video file. So I will just copy it from here, go back to here, and then again copy this and paste it here. Now basically what it will do is just write down your file, or it will create a file. So this is my video file here that I am writing on the main file. So we have resized it right now. Now we need to add an effect basically. So this effect will be speed effect. Define. Now there is pre-made keyword that is speed. So I am just going to write effects speed. Now this will be my basic function here. Now speed equals to. Now here I also need to just make sure that there should be an inputted value here. So I will just copy and paste this code again, because they have to again give another code to just decide their speed. So basically enter your, what can we do here, basically enter your speed. So okay, so that been done. Now what we need to just do is basically we need to write this file. So this is my speed clip. Now I need to make sure there should be an effect, that is. So basically in this line of code I am defining that how much speed will required. So this is the value of speed that we need. Now we need to again write this file as a video format. So Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it again, and then you should again copy this and paste it here. So this is basically, we have defined around 4 functions right now. Now we need to add another function. So we have just created a speed value here that should include some speed on it. Basically this is the value of speed that we have inputted here. So now we need to define another function. This function will be for color. So this will be a basic function for our color arrangement. Equals to, take again a value here, so I'm just copying it again. It saves a lot of time. And then enter your darkness. This will just import some value. Now click here and tab to just give it a 4 spaces here. So now we need to just define a clip color. So basically this is the value of the color, and that we have imported from here. Now we need to write this file, so I'm just copying it again. So after that been done, we have another function, that is trim. Now this function is very simple. You need to just define a cut out part from your video. So I'm just defining starting point here. So basically what it will do is just take a starting point, that is the input from the user. Now we need to define the ending point also. This will be also the same input file, so I'm just copying it from here, pasting it here basically. So this is the same input file that we need from the user. So starting point, you just go here and change it to ending point. Ending point here, so we are just making sure that there should be a starting point and an ending point at the end. So now we need to give it a FX. So here I'm just typing clip and then trim. Now basically this line of code will make sure that what is the starting point and what is the ending point you have given for the trimming purpose. So now we will be writing this file again as a video format. So now we have another function here for that trim purpose. Now we need to perform another for the audio. So audio file to extract the audio from the given video. So basically we need to write a function here. Basically we have to import something from here, that is, now at this time we need to just import again the Moviepy editor that we have imported here as MPE. Okay, now for the shortcut purpose I have written this. Now you need to give it a name. For example, I have audio.mp3. so this is my basic program that will take up audio. And then we have video clip. Now a video clip should take, so here make sure that this V should be in small and the C should be also in small. Okay, so I will be writing here another code that final file should contain the audio, so final. So now in this line of code I have just given the value of the audio file here. Now we need to just export it, so do that same stuff here again, that is .write function. So we have all the function ready here. As you can see, there are all the function basically we have created, from mixing to resizing, every function that a video editor needs to be in its stuff. So basically now we have to feed this command. So for the mixing purpose, you can see I have written mix, so you need to write here mix. Now you can give any command. For example, this command should not contain any bracket, so I'm giving it a mix here because this is the mix command that I have created or defined. Now there is a mirror command, so I will be giving a mirror command here. Now as you can see, we have defined all the functions here and our program is ready to roll. So basically this is an editor that should contain around 3 files, that is video file, and then basically do the stuff that you want. So there are some effects and some trimming function that a basic editor should need in it. So there is the code, you can just see. Now it's time to test it. So basically this is the video editor that I have created. Now open it up. Now as you can see, it will take some time and open up this kind of screen. This is our quick editor. I have changed the name here for my purpose. You can just do whatever you need. So basically we have 3 files, so we are just mix it. Here's the command remote. Now make sure that you should have 3 files in your folder. With that being said, just click mix, and as you can see, it is start exporting, which means our function is working. Now you can try mirror, resizing, speed, color, trim, any function there, it will work. Now the rendering has been done. So as you can see, there is a final render here, and this is the mixing of these 3. Now all the functions are working. You can try it by just going to the code down below. I have given it in the description. If there is any doubt, then you can also ask me. Now there is an icon that has been just pasted on this Tkinter file. You can do it by just using bitmap, or you can set it to IQ. You can just Google it and you will get the answer. So thank you for this video. I hope you have really enjoyed this tutorial. If there are any doubts or queries, please ask below. Make sure to like, subscribe and share. Goodbye.